You need to understand one thing, that because this attendance is done digitally, there is a record and you cannot delete this record. So if your attendance is less than 80% in the digital form, you will be in big trouble because nobody can help you. Teachers also can't help you. It is done, it is digitally done, and it is transferred to KU. It is transferred to KU, the digital file. And they also know your attendance, right? Just a minute. Good morning. This is January the 26th, and we are in BBA second semester. And I think this is the third class or fourth class? Fourth class, I guess. In BBIS, it was fifth class today. I could not take a class here on last Thursday. So what I'm doing today is I'll talk about this story, Atari and India. And I will talk about the elements of fiction. What are the components of fiction? The first component, very important component in a fiction, is plot. What is plot? Let me show you. Here we are. Okay. As you can read here, plot is arrangement of events that develop the basic idea. Every story has a basic idea. That is the theme of the story. Every story has a basic idea. That idea is the theme of the story. So plot is also a sequence of events. An event is happening. Something happens. I'm angry today. Right, I came in the class and I said, Kitab chaina bahar jol nikal dinchu. Many of you went out. I was angry. Event. The teacher got angry today. Right? Now, plot is planned logical series of events. It is well thought, well planned. What is logical means? There is dawn. The first chapter in your story is dawn. Second chapter is 1962. And a logical series means dawn comes first, 1962 comes second. Why? There is a reason. Dawn stands for beginning. The first chapter is the beginning. And dawn shows beginning of the day. Morning shows the day. There is a proverb. Morning shows the day. So the incidents happening in this section, first section, they forecast what is going to happen in the coming novel. Right? So it's a logical series of events. It has a beginning. For example, in the first paragraph of Dawn, the narrator wakes up before others. He wakes up before others and quietly leaves his home without disturbing other people sleeping. It has a beginning, and then lots of ideas come in his mind. He is running down the trail. There's a trail, running trail. And while running on the trail, he remembers his teacher who had talked about this trail. And his teacher said that this is a very old trail in the city. And he says that this trail symbolizes something. For example, not everyone can run. Only courageous people can run. And this trail also symbolizes the journey of life, effort, right? And then, at one point while running, he remembers his crazy idea. He says that, oh, everything is gone. Friends are gone, high school friends are gone, school teachers are gone, those days are gone, everything is gone, but one thing is left. At 24, one thing is left with me. What is left? He says, the crazy idea remains with me. I have been following the crazy idea, right? So it has a beginning, middle, and end. We do not know the actual end of this novel because we have only 2 chapters in our course. If you read the whole, you will know how it ends. But we will talk about the end of the chapters we have. For example, the first chapter, Dawn, ends toward there are 10 pages in first chapter. And in the 10th page, at one point he says that everything is gone. While running, he says everything is gone. Then he says, but the crazy idea remains with me. And the chapter ends with crazy idea. And in the 10th page, I guess the word crazy idea comes more than 5-7 times. He repeats that word. He says, I'll make it work. I'll follow this idea. I will implement it. And then in second chapter, 1962, you see he is in his father's room. Father is watching television, sitting on the chair. He gets in the room and he tells his father about his crazy idea, right? So it has beginning, middle, end also. There are 5 parts, as you can read here. Exposition, beginning of the story, how the story starts, who are the characters, background, setting, but we won't talk about this. First we'll talk about the plot. Now, I explained you what is plot. Now let me show you how do we summarize the plot. I'll do 1 paragraph for you, or maybe a couple of paragraphs. So what I suggest to you, this is your story, and look what happens to the story as I read. This is my page on my laptop. As I read, this is the notes I make. I write in the margins, Atari founder Nolan Bushnell. Now I know. Friedland. I didn't know who is Friedland. I asked Google Gemini. Google Gemini also could not tell me. But as I read later on, there is information who is, there is a full name. Then let me read and show you how to write plot summary. In February 1974, after 18 months of hanging around Reed, Jobs decided to move back to his parents' home in Los Altos and look for a job. It was not a difficult search. At peak times during the 1970s, the classified section of the San Jose Mercury carried up to 60 pages of technology help wanted advertisements. One of those caught Jobs' eye. Have fun, make money, it said. The day Jobs walked into the lobby of the video game manufacturer Atari and told the personnel director who was startled by his unkempt hair and attire that he wouldn't leave until they gave him a job. Now I read the paragraph. Now my job is, I would summarize this paragraph into one sentence, not two, just one sentence. And that sentence will summarize the major idea of this paragraph. So let me try. And you see how I do. I am going to do something very difficult, and I want you to follow me and learn. Okay, so I write, returns home from Reed College looks for a job walks into the lobby of Atari tells the director that he will not he won't return until he gets the job. That's all. Now my sentence, this is the first draft. I may like to revise it, but I believe that that single sentence captures the main point of the paragraph. But the point for you to understand is that if you see, I have written some words in blue ink, not red. Now what should you learn? A plot summarizes actions. What are actions? Actions are activities. Who does those activities? Different characters do the activities. Where do they do these activities? At certain places. For example, we read in the first paragraph that the protagonist, the hero of the story, later we'll know this is Steve Jobs, because this is the biography of Steve Jobs, written by Walter Isaacson. That is why here you have the name, Jobs decided. So I write returns, or I could say, I could add one word here. I could add a word like Steve Jobs. But what I want you to do is that do not use a noun. Begin your sentence with a verb. In plot summary, your sentence should begin with a verb. And do not mention the character. If you think without mentioning character, Divakar sir will be confused. In bracket you mention the character. Right? So look what I say. Returns home. Here for me, I am the student reading this story for my class. This action of returning home is important. Somebody returns home. So what is important is what are they doing? They are returning home. So I write down the verb. Who is returning is not important for me. Returns home from Reed College. Then in this sentence, returns home from Reed College, I am summarizing from here up to here. Look here. I am summarizing these sentences. One sentence, two sentences. I am summarizing two sentences in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. I am summarizing two sentences in 5 words. How many words are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 57 words are there. And I summarized 57 words in 5 words, 10%. I summarized 57 words in 5 words. And you may be wondering what I'm doing. This is a skill that will bring you success at the university. The skill to summarize what others are saying. And very few students know this skill because nobody teaches them. Now, I summarize 57 words in 5 words, and moreover, I begin my summary with the verb. Because in these 57 words, the most important action is he returns home. The most important action is he returns home. I am not writing he was hanging 18 months there because that is not important for me. The time is not important. What is important? He comes home. Then second, one of those caught Jobs' eyes, he was looking for advertisement jobs, right? That is more important. So I write, now in the story, you don't have the word look for. It is not there. It is not there. But I wrote. How did I write? Look here. Here, it is here. To move back to his parents' home in Los Altos and look for a job. I pick up this phrase, look for a job, and I connect here. I say, look for a job. Now from here, walks into the lobby. Now here, look here. Up to here. Up to here. I summarize into 3 words. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. For me, he walks into the lobby. Walking into lobby is the action. This is what he does. And this is most important thing for plot. Plot simply means who is doing what. Activity. Because it is activities that move the story further. Stories move because people are doing actions. And plot summary means summarizing the action. Summarizing the action. So he returns home, looks for a job, walks into the lobby, and then here, look here, tells, told, I pick up this verb, told. And because the story is in the past tense, but please remember, my summary will be in the present tense. The original story is in the past tense, but my plot summary will use verbs in present tense, not in past tense, unless it is necessary. Tells the director until they gave him a job. Now, I summarize the whole paragraph into one sentence. Now, at the end of this sentence here, I won't put a full stop. Please do not put a full stop. What you do, if you are typing in the laptop, use 2 hyphen. And when you type next, the 2 hyphens get connected, and that becomes an M dash, a longer dash. Let me show you an example of what I have done for the previous story here. Here we go. Let me show an example. Okay, on the screen, you can see a plot summary of the first chapter, Dawn. The first chapter, Dawn, has 10 pages. And I summarize the 10 pages in half page. Half page, that is not even 10%, it's 5%, if 5%. If it was 1 page, it will be 10%, it is 5%. For 100 words, I write 5 words, right? Now look here what I have done. Wakes up before others and quietly goes out for running, paragraph 1. Paragraph 1. If you see the original story, let me show you the original story. There are 40 pages in the first story. Look, the original sentence is, I was up before others, before the birds, before the sun. I drank a cup of coffee, wolfed down a piece of toast, put on my shorts and sweatshirts, and laced up my green running shoes, then slipped quietly out of the back door. This is the paragraph. This is the paragraph, right? How many sentences? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 45. There are 45 words. Now look my summary. Now look my summary. There are 45 words, paragraph 1. Now look my summary. Wakes up before others and quietly goes out for running. You can decide to remove this and say, Dibakar, I won't note this thing. Not important for me. And just write, wakes up before others. So I summarize 45 words in 3 words. And the point to understand is that I begin my sentence with the verb wakes up. In the story, you don't have the verb wakes up. It's I was up. In the original story, he says, I was up before others. And I convert that into wakes up. I was up. So what is the verb? What is the activity? What is the action? Waking up. And I write wakes up before others. I decided to include this detail and make longer sentence because running is very important to me. The whole story is about running. The whole story, Dawn and 1962, is about running. In Dawn, he runs on the trail. In 1962, he runs around the world. He runs around the world, goes all 7 continents. He goes to Japan. So he's running throughout his life. Why? To get success. Then the word feel is not there. See the second sentence. If you see the second sentence, see the second sentence here, second paragraph I mean, paragraph 2, and look what he says at the end of the paragraph 2. Here, why is it always so hard to get started? So I read the second paragraph and I think the most important thing in the second paragraph is his feeling. What feeling? It's difficult to start. Then what do I do? In my summary, I write like this. Feels hard to get started. Feels all alone. Thinks Oregon is beautiful place but regrets that nothing big has ever happened. Appreciates his best teacher. In the story you don't have the word appreciate. He says he is my best teacher. When you call your teacher my best teacher, what are you doing? You are appreciating. So as a reader, I'm a student of BBA second semester. I think, what is he doing? He is appreciating. And I write, appreciates his teacher. This is difficult. I know. This is not easy to do if you are not skilled. Then, thinks that some rare strain. Have you seen? I have highlighted all the verbs. And if you pay attention, please, all the verbs here are mental verbs. There are two types of verbs. Verbs that describe physical activity. I'm walking is a physical verb. I went down, I came to the front of the class, physical. Physical verb. Verbs that describe physical actions. Second, there are verbs that describe mental state. They describe not physical action. They describe mental state. What are the verbs? Like feeling is a mental state. Waking up is a physical action. This is physical. This is mental. And if you pay attention, in the first chapter, Dawn, most of the verbs are mental verbs. For example, feel, think, remember, feel, think, remember, want, think, thought, think, remember, believe. All are mental verbs. Now ask a question. Why there are so many mental verbs in chapter 1? Because at the end of chapter 1, if you see, chapter 1 is all about the crazy idea. Chapter 1 is all about crazy idea. It's all about crazy idea. Crazy idea. Crazy idea. Crazy idea. Crazy idea. Okay. How many times has it come? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The phrase crazy idea occurs 7 times toward the end of chapter 1, the 10th page. At what point does the idea occur? Look here, this point. Look here. Pay attention. Yes. He says, while running on the track, he says so much about those days is gone because he has come there after 7 years. He has come home after 7 years. He has seen that trail after 7 years. And he says, so much is gone. Friends are gone. School friends are no more there. I don't know where they are. Nature has changed. Parents have grown. But so much has gone. What remains? At 24, my crazy idea is with me. And throughout the novel, he follows the crazy idea. Following the crazy idea, he goes to Japan and establishes the shoe company. You are going to summarize Atari and India this way. That will be your plot summary. Your time starts now. You can work together. You do it now. Go back to the story, Atari in India. We have 5 minutes. Summarize 2-3 paragraphs. Do it now. You can work in pairs together. You can share ideas. Do not ask any AI to summarize for you. The AI does, I know. But the summary the AI makes is not correct. I did the first paragraph. Now you can move for the second paragraph. It's a big challenge I'm giving you because it's a long paragraph and you have to summarize in a single sentence. Sentence should be one, but you can use more verbs. Atari's founder was a burly entrepreneur named Nolan Bushnell. Now this is not important. Who was Atari's founder is not important because this is not activity. This is a fact. This is not action. So I will quit it. I will leave it. Who was a charismatic visionary? No, not important. How somebody looks is not important. With a nice touch of showmanship in him. In other words, another role model waiting to be emulated. After he became famous, he liked driving around in a Rolls, smoking dope and holding staff meetings in a hot tub. As Friedland had done and as Jobs would learn to do, he was able to turn charm into a cunning force to cajole and intimidate and distort reality with the power of his personality. His chief engineer was Alcorn, beefy and jovial and a bit more grounded. The house grown up trying to implement the vision and curb the enthusiasm of Bushnell. Their big hit thus far was a video game called Pong, in which two players tried to volley a blip on a screen with two movable lines that acted as paddles. Now see the difficulty, see the challenge. What is the writer doing in this paragraph? Who is the writer of this text? Who is the writer? Walter Isaacson. Who is the writer? Walter Isaacson. So the narrator is Walter Isaacson. Who is telling us about Steve Jobs? Who is telling us about Steve Jobs? Walter Isaacson. Is this autobiography? No, this is biography. Auto means I write my story, auto. I write her story, biography. I write her story, biography. Right? So Walter Isaacson is writing whose story? Yawning now, look. Garima Grace Thapa is yawning, feeling sleepy. It's difficult to hear the teacher for an hour, right? Okay. Walter Isaacson is telling us the story of Steve Jobs' life. That's why it is biography. Now, look here. There is no major verb here. So you will write, Isaacson describes. Isaacson, now the verb is describe. What is the verb? Describe. Describes Atari's founder Nolan Bushnell and engineer Al Alcorn. Finished. That's all. What is the summary now? Isaacson describes Atari's founder Nolan Bushnell and engineer Al Alcorn. That is the one sentence summary of this whole paragraph. Nothing is important because in this paragraph, no activity is taking place. In this paragraph, no action is taking place. Simply, the writer is introducing us, the two characters. In paragraph 1, Isaacson introduced Steve Jobs. Said 1974, February, Jobs came from Reed's College after dropping. He failed. I guess he failed, or he quit, or he failed. And looked for a job and got a job. So paragraph 1 introduces the main hero of the text, Steve Jobs. Paragraph 2 introduces the Atari founder, Nolan Bushnell, and the main engineer at Atari, Al Alcorn. That's all. Now you go to third paragraph. I stop here. Tomorrow, I will come with a complete single sentence summary of the whole story. There are 3 parts. And you too will come with a single sentence summary. If there are 80 paragraphs, you will have 80 sentences. If there are 100 paragraphs, you will have only 100 sentences, not 101, not 99. I too will have same. And if you came without doing this exercise, you will be in big trouble. Listen to me. If you came without doing the exercise, you will be in big trouble. Okay? I warned you. Thank you.
Only the